Well, hello, welcome to Kiss Up Cards. Keep it simple, Stampin' Up. And I'm coming to you as a Stampin' Up independent consultant. And I bring to you cards, card designs, card tips, and tricks, whatever I have up my sleeve this any time when I come to you. Tonight I have a tip and a card design. So look, I'm working with the scenic paper still, the beautiful gallery. I'm going to show you another card layout that you can use for when you have those scenic pieces of paper that you just can't bring down to a smaller size, because then you know what, you don't have the beauty of that scenery. So I'm going to show you another card layout. I call it the scenic card layout triple time, and you'll see what I mean by that when you see the design. I'm going to work in a little bit of a smaller measurements, 1/16 of an inch. We worked with 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, 1 inch, all those other inches, but now we're going to be working with 1/16 inch. Don't get scared by it. It's all on your measurements. I'm going to bring up the ruler really closely so that you can see it, but don't get scared by 1/16 of an inch. It's one of our measurements, so let's embrace it and let's get to my craft table. Down here at my craft table, this is the card that I'm going to show you to make, and this is a beautiful way to display scenery cards as well. And I'm going to show you how to make this. We're working with 1/16 of an inch on this card in our measurements. So we're working with 1/16 instead of 1/8 or 1/4 or halves. So that might be, you just have to count the lines or figure out, this is 15, this would be 13. I just had to figure it out. This is my first time working with 1/16 as well. So this is my card that I made up for the demo, just to get this ready and figure things out. The pattern that I had was a little off, so I had to, oh no, just figure it out myself. Well, this piece ended up a little short, but no one's gonna know because it's all about a cover-up. So just covered it up with happy birthday, and it turned out to be beautiful. So we're gonna do the next card with this one. But before we do that, I'm gonna show you how to re-ink a stamp set. This Stampin' Spot that's pretty in pink, and I love the color. I love what it stamps, and so I just picked up the Pretty in Pink refill because mine was getting really dry. So let's get in my happy birthday stamp set, and let's show you the difference. So I'm going to stamp this up, and I'm going to put this happy birthday right here, and there's my Pretty in Pink. You can see it, it's there. Now I am going to just fill the ink spot with Pretty in Pink. You can do this on the little ink spots on the stamp sets. You just buy the refill and fill it up. So because this was a favorite color of mine, I thought I'll get the stamp. I had the stamp already. I thought I would just get the ink spot. Now I'm looking for, I can't find, oh, I found my little spoon. I always have a little spoon in my craft room, and that I think this was pretty dry because it soaked it right up, like right up. I think we're going to see a big difference. Yeah, it's just like sucking it right up. So you just take your spoon to mix it around, and then I'm going to stamp my stamp set. I can already see on the stamp set, this is a really nice fine pink. And look at the difference. See how much it pops through now? So it was really getting dry. I just got a little, and look, I used very little ink. This is going to last me a long time. So you get a little ink spot, you get a refill, a really economical way to have ink. I have a lot of ink spots. I have about 4 boxes full of ink spots. I was very blessed. Someone gave them to me and it had pretty and pink in there. I thought, well, I'm just going to get the ink refill. This is only $7.50 compared to, you know, the ink pads are $13.25, I think. A little stamp spot, not as much. And away you go. Listen, we want to be making cards, but we want to be making cards sensibly, right? And for a good price. So I've got that all inked up, and that's ready to go for another card another day. But I thought, you know what? I just want to show you that. All right, let's get cutting our cards. Now, I was tempted to use Secret C on this, but I used brown, and now let me see about using blues on this one. I've got Night of Navy. This is a brighter blue. I think that one is, oh, I might not have the name for it. Ooh. I think this is more of a blue I want to use. Oh, you know what colors I want to use? This blue. This is how I pick my colors. I just start doing this and I pull things out. And then I'm like, as I'm working along, I'm like blue and gray. That's what I want to do. So that's usually, and usually what I do is I pull out my cardstock and then I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I have that in my stash of cardstock, and then I'll go looking through it, and sure enough, I'll find little pieces. But I can see right now that I do not have these, so I will work with these. Oh, maybe the gray. No, because the gray I'm making, I wonder if I want to go this way. So then this is how I do it as well. Do I want to go this way? So the blue will have the larger margin on it, and the gray will only have about 1/8 of an inch. That looks nice. And then I flip it around like this. And then I do this. And oh my gosh, tough decisions. I think I like it on the gray, and we'll make a blue background. So let's get cutting. So I will pop these measurements in the comments below so that you will have them, but we are going to score at 4 1/4. Score at 4 1/4. We're making our card base. And cutting at 5 1/2. So you score once, cut once, and voila, you've got 2 cards. So I'll set one aside and use that another day, but I'll use this one. Now, for this piece, we're only going to use 11 inches of it, but I'm not going to cut it down to 11 inches. And I'll show you how I'm going to figure this all out. So I need 1 1/15 of a 16th of a strip. So 1/15 of a 16th is just under the 2 inch. So you've got 2 inches, and then maybe you can't see it. Can you see it now? So I'm going to go just, see your ruler, it's all broken down into 1 inch segments, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, and 1/16 inch. If you look at it just that way, you'll get it all figured out. And so There's 16 sixteenths of an inch in each inch. So there's 16 of them. So if I need 15, I just go to one under the 2 inch. That's all I need to do. I don't need to count all those spaces. So that's all I need to do. So I need 1/15 16th of an inch. So I'm just going to do this and give that heave-ho cut. All right, let me bring you back to here. Okay, so that's how we just get those measurements. So out of this piece, I'm going to cut 5 1/8. 5 1/8, and I'm going to cut. The right top is going to be 1 13/16. So that's just, no, yeah, 1 13/16. So that's, no, 15/16. Sorry, I'm looking at the DSP measurements and I'm like, this is not making sense. So this is, we want to make this a square. So this will be 1/15 of a 16th by 1/15 16th. Then this one, we want 3 3/16. So 3 and then just 1, 2, 3, and that's just under the quarter mark. And there's the 1/2 inch cut off that we don't need. Okay, so that gets us this like this. Let me get my card folded. So that gives us this background. Like this. So there's going to be more of a border all the way around, and in the center there's just going to be 1/8 of an inch. Now the DSP, you want to cut your piece down to 4 by 6, and you want to figure out which part do I want to use the most. So let me cut 1 inch off this side. I'm gonna have a lot of scraps of this, but you know what? This side is really nice. And you know what? These have nice colors in it that I'm gonna be able to use those scraps really beautifully. I'm gonna turn this around so I can get 4 inches. I wanted most of this in here. So that's 4 by 6. So you're going to start with a DSP that's 4 by 6. So the left panel is going to be 1/13 of a 16th. So that's just 3. So this was 15, 14, 13. And I'm just going to cut this. And I'm going to cut this to 5 1/8, but I want more of the bottom to 5 1/8. So that will go on this panel. Let me see. Did I not do 5 1/8? I did 5 1/8. Am I looking? Nope. I bet you I cut this wrong. Yep, I cut that wrong. That was supposed to be 5 1/4. Okay, I'll just have to make another piece. I can't add on to it like once you cut it too short. So I want this 1/5. Maybe I'll just do it this way. Yeah, because then I won't cut a whole piece. 1 15 16th. That's just under the 2 inch. Cut that. And then this is 5 1/4. That was my mistake. All right. Now that fits on there better. See how I'm going to get a gray 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Then on this piece, 1 by 13. 1 by 13/16, like this. And then I had cut it from the sky, so I just need to cut this to 5 1/8. No, this way. I should have cut it to 5 1/8 beforehand, so you could do that. Then this one I want as 1 3 13/16. So this makes a square. Are you with me? Are you with me? Oh, you can get a little lost. So that's going to fit up there. And then this piece, we're going to turn it around. And I just find it easier to do it this way. We want 3 1/16. 3 1/16. Is that going to do it? I think so. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. The last time they had me cut off 1/4 of an inch, and I don't think it's a, well, it is a quarter. I must have cut a 1/2 inch off. Golly gee. Hey? All right. So we've got our pieces, and we will glue those on. I just think this is just another beautiful way to show off scenery, but it's a little different design. And this is the beautiful gallery paper, which I think this is my 3rd design showing you. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Come on, glue. Give me a little bit of leeway here. Oh, okay, let's try this again. There we go. I only wanted 1/8 of an inch, but I wasn't getting it quite there. There we go. And then this piece. There we go. Now we're going to get it ready to get on the card. I'm just going to flatten this down. It's the one time that I do like it flat. I'm just going to pop glue on all the pieces, but not adhere them down. I want a little bit of play in them when I put them down. This one is going to go here. Yeah. There we go. Super fantastic. Now on this one, the reason I have this here is it was covering up because this piece was cut too short. That's why I did it a little differently this time. Instead of taking 1/4 inch off, then I just cut from the bottom and figured that out and had better success. Oh, I like that. That looks so pretty. Now we can just take a happy birthday, and where's my secret C go? Secret C is such a dark color. They call it the new black, and I can see why. So let's just put that up here. Oh, that looks beautiful. So the same pattern, but different sentiment ideas. One stamped right on the card, and this has shifted on me. That is not good. That's the best I'm gonna get it. Okay. So let's get the inside done. Okay, I'll glue this on. Get my scissors. I have everything so close, and yet I keep having to look for it. There we go. There's the one I showed you. There's the one I had ready for the demo tonight. Beautiful scenic paper used in another layout. Really pretty. So I'll decorate the envelopes and I'll be right back with you. There you have it. Scenic card layout triple time. So this was the first card I had ready. And this is the second card. And I have the envelope ready to go with it as well. And this one I stamped right on the DSP, the happy birthday. You could leave it blank. You don't even need to put anything on it. So that's the beauty of it. So that may be a little bit more challenging, but I think once you start working with 16th inch measurements, it'll just, just keep working at it. The first time I worked at it, even 1/8 of an inch, I was like, not sure I like this, but you know what? The more I work with it, the more I embrace it, the more I'm enjoying it. So embrace it, and then you'll get to enjoy it. Listen, learning never stops for any of us, no matter what the age. You need to keep learning, to keep those brain cells just firing all their neurons, because that's going to be the healthiest thing that we can do for our brains, is learning something new. Stretch yourself. So measure in the 16th inches, and then you'll make and create beautiful layouts like this. You could do this with a big floral pattern as well. That would be really pretty. So today I was listening, I just want to share something with you. I was listening to a Mel Robbins podcast at work today, and it was with Dr. Robert Waldinger, and he is a doctor at, I think, Harvard, and he's part of an 86-year-old study on happiness. That is quite, I think it's the longest study in history. And one of the things that Mel Robbins asked him was, what are the 2 things that you want people to take away from this? So part of the takeaway that he wanted people to have was to invest in people that you care about, and it not only helps them to know and feel valued and loved, but it helps to make us feel better. It's a reciprocal. And he said, make kindness your default. I just thought that was beautiful. And what's my mantra? Sharing kindness one card at a time. So you're doing so much when you share a card. I was just like, when I heard that, I was like, that fits in with what we're doing with cards. I'm getting joy out of making them. I get joy out of giving them. It gives joy to the other person, but it cultivates our relationship as well. What a beautiful way to say to someone, and I've said this before, I was thinking of you, I made you a card, and I sent you a card. You know, we complain about the cost of stamps, and yes, they go up, and they are quite pricey. But still, in the end, in the time and the expense, when you add it all up, it is still a tiny fraction of just saying to someone, I'm thinking of you. There is power in that, folks. There is power in that. And sometimes we're not even going to know or understand the power of that. But for the other person, it could make all the difference in their day, in their life, in what they're going through. We just never know. So default to kindness and share kindness one card at a time. Thank you for joining.